Well, welcome everybody. Welcome to this edition of Inside Career Technical Education. I'm Ann Baldwin, and I'm one of the hosts of this program.
And I'm Jim Bologa, President and CEO of Porter and Chester Institute and YTI Career Institute, and I'm the other host.
That's right, and we're talking about a great program at YTI Career Institute. I just love this program. I've had a chance to see it. We'll talk all about it. And we're so happy to have with us Jessie Tuno, and I got to look down at my paper because she's got a really long title. She's the Program Director of the Culinary Arts, Pastry Arts, and Restaurant Management Program at the Lancaster Pennsylvania Campus. That's a lot of stuff, Jim.
It sure is.
It is. It's an impressive title, and why don't we get right into it,
Sure.
Jessie? Why don't you talk a little bit about yourself and and your career path, and then maybe talk a little bit about what you're doing right now with the school.
Absolutely, I'd love to. So, yes, I am the program director for the Culinary Arts and Restaurant Management Program and the Pastry Arts Program here in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. I am also a graduate of this program. I was in school here for the Culinary Arts and Restaurant Management Program back in 2006 to 2008, and been working in the industry for quite a while, but this is where I've always wanted to be. It's always been something that I've wanted to come back and be able to teach here at YTI. So,
And I've seen you in action, Jessie. You and a lot of the other instructors up there in your industry modeled kitchen. I feel like I can't help but think of Hell's Kitchen when I go up to the campus because just like you see on television, it's really, really impressive, and it's so cool to hear that. Not only are you a graduate of YTI Career Institute, but that you want to give back to these students. Because talk a little bit about some of your students that you have in these programs, and I'm sure they can't get enough of what you teach them.
Sure. We actually have a wide range of students. I know when I was in culinary school, I was almost 30 when I started school. So I was actually one of the older students in my class. Now it's such a wide range of students that we have, from the high school graduates to people that are turning into a second career or a third career, or they're just retired and they want to have something else to do.
Mm-hmm.
It's always interesting to me to see the list of students that are coming in, and just to be able to talk to them in that first week and get to know them and see where they're coming from. This term's been interesting. We actually have 4 students this term that are coming out of the medical field.
Wow.
I've got one who is an ER nurse that is coming out of the emergency room, and he wants to get into the culinary field. He's always had a passion for it, and this is his time to do it. So
how cool
it's always
is that?
been interesting.
Yeah.
And then we talk about that, whether it's an adult learner and the diversity of the students. Maybe you were a stay-at-home mom or dad, and now your time is freed up so that you can, do your online classes
Mm-hmm.
and then head over to the campus to apply what you've learned.
Yeah, no,
Yes.
it is interesting because I think it goes to talking about with other folks on our podcast about how folks are really embracing sort of this concept of lifelong learning, and
Yep.
and some of that lifelong learning actually transcends what you started school to do, and what you've seen COVID do both on the I would say on the plus side and maybe there's some less than plus side things, how the industry, the hospitality industry, has really pivoted. It's been pretty fascinating to see some of it, but what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's been a tough 18 months for the industry, needless to say. But in a lot of that, we're seeing a lot of that innovation. We're seeing a lot of those changes that are being made that can benefit the employee coming into that. The Pennsylvania Restaurant and Lodging Association recently completed a survey of about 30,000 job seekers. They said that out of those 30,000, 60% would not return to the hospitality industry, or they wouldn't consider the restaurant industry or hospitality industry. And that's concerning to us. We think about why that is. pre-COVID, traditionally, we have long hours. We have lack of healthcare benefits. There a really lack of work and life balance. And not to mention, it's really hard work. So during this time, yes, right now we're struggling. Right now we've got a lot. 89% of our restaurants are understaffed. Food costs are up, labor costs are up. But this is a great time for people to be in that education, be getting that training and going into this industry.
Yeah, timing is everything, right?
Yes, absolutely. Right now it's struggling. Right now, we're struggling to get those workers back. But in this, we're seeing that we can make it on shorter hours. We can offer healthcare benefits. We can really focus on that work-life balance and be able to give people more of that back. That's what everyone is seeking right now. With this mass resignation, everyone is seeking that better work-life balance. So, this is a great opportunity for us as restaurant owners and restaurant managers to really be able to look at that in a different way. But also for people that are going into that industry, right now is the time to get that training, because once we get ourselves back and going, those restaurateurs are going to be looking for the people who have the training, where they don't have to sit and take the time to train that person from scratch. They don't have to. They want to have those people that can come in, they know what they're doing, and they can hit the ground running. Yep. So, while the restaurant industry is working on building itself back and figuring out what this normalcy is going to look like after all of this, now is the time to be getting that education and that training, so that when we're ready, I think I have more employers right now looking for workers and looking for employees than I have students.
Sure.
It's just been.
Well, so you hit on a lot of really good points that I want to sort of so flexibility, innovation, and there is employment at the end of your education. So let's talk a little bit about, obviously, pre-COVID, everything was, on ground, if you will, in terms of how education was delivered. And I think we're sort of in this period of time where there's the opportunity for tremendous amounts of innovation. And so maybe talk a little bit about hybrid education, getting the best of both worlds, lecture online and then taking those concepts and that theory and bringing it into the industry modeled environment to, practically apply those skills in a hands-on way.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think that's probably been one of the best changes that has come out of this, is that those lecture classes or those didactic classes, all of that stuff is online. That's on your own time, on your own pace. Myself, as an instructor, I usually have 2 or 3 modules open at a time. And that way my students know that if I get through this chapter pretty quickly, I can start moving into the next chapter.
Sure.
Or if I need a little more time on this, I have a little bit more time that I can spend a little more time working on this one subject. The instructors have been fantastic with being able to spend a little bit extra time with the students that need that, whether it's a one-on-one meeting or whether it's in a group lecture every week. We have those office hours where you can jump in and take that one-on-one time with an instructor to get a little more clarity, if you're struggling with something. But for those that are getting it and it's instant and, okay, I like this, I really enjoy this, I really know what I'm doing, they have that ability to be able to move forward a little bit faster through. So
this has been fantastic advice, Jessie. Thank you so much. Continued success to all of you folks up there in Lancaster. And we want to tell folks as well, if you want more information on the Culinary Arts program, on the Pastry program, also on the what am I trying to say? The restaurant management piece of this. There's so much information on the website. We encourage you to go to yti.edu.
Absolutely. Well, Jessie, I could talk to you for hours and hours and hours, but we do have to wrap it up. And I do want to really a heartfelt thank you for all that you do. And I hope our listeners, and I hear it in your voice, your passion for this industry. So thank you again for sharing your advice and your perspective.
It was our pleasure. And of course, it was our pleasure to have all of you along for this podcast, Inside Career Technical Education. Thank you so much for watching.